Hello, guys. We are back. This is She's Got Muscles, the podcast for girls with gains. So the last episode that we released was a Q&A that we did on the way to our Des Moines show, and we only got through some of the questions. So we are going to finish off the Q&A in this podcast today. So first question is the hardest thing to endure during prep. So the hardest thing about prep.
I would say it's your mental. Your mental. Whenever you go into prep, you go in such a deficit, and trying to keep your mind in check whenever you don't want to, binge eating while in prep. That's probably one of the hardest ones for me. Which one is for you?
I think the hardest thing in prep is comparing myself to others and trying to be perfect.
So how do you overcome that?
I don't think you, to be completely honest, I don't think you do 100%. I think you learn how to cope with it a little bit more. You learn to not compare as much, or you learn coping mechanisms to help. Um, and with like the perfection, I mean, it just makes you want to push a little bit more.
And you have a good point with this because we tend to compare a lot ourselves, especially with social media.
Oh my gosh.
Social media lies. 100% going to say that. Everybody going to post the best angles, the best lighting, going to use a filter, go to the mirror and post a selfie. Of course, you're going to show your glutes better, your shoulders better. So when we see that, sometimes we think, oh my gosh, I don't look like this person.
Yeah.
And that's a conversation that we've been having almost every day. We don't want to look like this person. We want to look like us.
Yeah.
We want to keep it real.
Yeah, and you have to find what that looks like for you. So that was my hardest thing in prep, was just I wanted to be so perfect, and I wanted to hit these like huge milestones that I was seeing other people hit at like the same stage. And I think my biggest thing too was I would compare myself to like pros, like people who would do it for like, who's been doing it for like 5, 6, 10 years, and then I would be like upset that I wasn't at the same stage that they were at the same like 6-week mark or 4-week mark or whatever.
Right, but we're gonna become pros eventually.
Hopefully.
I have told her we gotta pay our dues. We gotta feel the feelings because I'm sure those girls that were are pros went through what we're going through.
Yes.
We just gotta pay the dues, but yeah, comparison sucks. Body dysmorphia.
Yes. Was there anything else in prep? Like, we talked a little bit about the mental struggles. What about like physical struggles?
So I'm like 42.
What? No.
So to me is I have like a surgery about 5 years ago in my knee. Sometimes some of the exercise will be a little bit hard. Physically, sometimes it was hard because prep workouts are hard.
Yes.
There was a lot of jumping boxes, a lot of step-ups.
And it's a lot of cardio.
A lot of cardio.
It's a lot of walking. It's a lot of stairs.
How much cardio were you doing?
I think my highest cardio was a 85. I have to say, I think it was 85. Yeah. But that's a lot. But I did that all at once. I did my cardio all at once. So it was a full 85 minutes on either the treadmill or the Stairmaster.
Something I learned when it comes to your physical is make sure you're eating your food and your schedule. You take your vitamins, take your supplements, because that's going to help your physical to recover a lot faster.
Yes,
and sleep. I cannot stress about this enough.
I mean, your body wants to sleep, because I remember I had absolutely no energy, just like wiping my counter. Like after meal prepping, what seemed like the hardest chore to do because you are so depleted. So you just want to sleep. So you kind of have to like make sure that you have like a good amount of rest at night and listen to your body and take your naps and everything if you can, because I mean, your body really wants to.
Right, wants to. That came into a good point. Like prep is not for everybody.
No,
it's not a lifestyle, and a lot of people feel so depleted and very lean. And I would not stress enough to tell people that's not how I'm gonna look in my everyday basics.
You
or
really
help
can't.
yourselves, you know. But it's a sport. It's a sport.
It is a sport. The next question was, what made us decide to bodybuild?
Oh boy, you answered that
That's
one
the
first.
biggest one. So I know when we had our earlier episodes, we talked a little bit about our whys, and I talked a little bit about coming from like an overweight background, and then I found my love for just working out in the gym in general and like doing group fitness classes, and then wanting to have that like level up challenge to work towards. I know I was between like powerlifting, I looked at like CrossFit stuff, and then I like stumbled upon a bodybuilder, and then I thought, wow, like this takes not only a physical aspect but also takes a mental aspect on top of it. And then I just kind of like went around from there. And you, Nadia?
Oh gosh. I'm just gonna keep it real. I got divorced about 6 years ago, and I did it for the wrong reasons. I want to have a revenge body. Truthfully, that's the truth. And what happened? I fell in love with this sport. So everything bad that comes into your life, sometimes comes something good after that.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't because of that event in my life, I would probably never really do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking to keep my off season. I do, and now I'm treating this like in the sport, and I'm doing it for the right reasons. I want to get my pro card, not just to get my pro card, because I have goals behind my pro card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good. And I think everybody still slips into that. Like, it's the funnest part of bodybuilding, or I would say the part that most people tend to like focus on and celebrate is that like weight loss aspect, especially like in the beginning. There's like a little sweet spot of where you're a little bigger, and then right before, being so lean that you can barely function. There's a little sweet spot of where your body looks right and tight. You still have a little bit of energy. And I feel like that's what a lot of people tend to just focus on and highlight. And you don't realize that it's this whole process from building to losing a little bit and then hitting the sweet spot and then losing so much that you're so depleted.
And that gets me to a good point. And I just really want you all to know bodybuilding is not a weight loss program. If you think in doing bodybuilding because you just want to look lean and you just want to do bodybuilding for that reason alone, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, because you're gonna get weight back right after you're done competing. And it can mess you with your brain.
Oh, it messes with you 100% mentally for sure. Because bodybuilding, like you said, is a sport, and part of the sport is building muscle, and you cannot build muscle staying lean. If you just want to have like the Instagram body, you just need to find a lifestyle program, find a maintenance that keeps your body exactly where you want it to be, and then you just fluctuate between 2 or 3 pounds and you keep it there.
Yes.
But you can't grow anything from that.
Like I said, bodybuilding is not a weight loss program. Now, if you train like a sport and you just want to get muscle lean, get more muscle, and show your body and show you hard work, then do it.
Yeah.
We encourage you to do it.
You have to love the process. So we just had a conversation with one of our coaches, Jen, where we had the comparison where you mentioned somebody loving the process. You're the person who loves the process of bodybuilding. You love the structure, you love the schedule, you love everything about that aspect. And then me and her, we love the stage. We love being on the stage. We love showcasing all of our hard work. Yes, the process sucks for us, and that's probably our least favorite part, but we understand that we have to do this process in order to do what we love about it, which is be on stage and just like soak it all in. Where you like the structure, and then you...
Yeah, I like the structure and what it gives me as a person too, because it's not just my exercise or my food, it's my house too. I get more organized in how is my closet. I get more organized how is my bathroom. I get more organized at work because I have to have a structure how my day is gonna go. So to me, it has become in a way a lifestyle. I don't know what I would do without bodybuilding right now.
Yeah.
But I have become a person that actually love the process, and I want to go more and more and more. If I don't win the next time, well, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I think that's a very good way to sum everything up. And then another question that we had, which we touched on a teeny tiny bit, but mental challenges with food restrictions. So when food gets taken away, or that you can't have this, you can't do this. So how do you deal with that?
Just keep remember your goals. Like start thinking why are you doing this, and it's gonna the way I'm thinking this is gonna be worth it at the end. It's not a forever thing. It's temporarily, and that's gonna make my body look a specific way. Like it's temporary. I only have like I don't know. Whenever we were doing that, was maybe 7, 8 weeks out when he was starting. My coach was taking things away. I'm like, it's only 7, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not like whole year. That's it.
Yeah.
But our mind will play tricks on you, and will make you think, oh my God, you look terrible. You're not doing it right. And then after your 7 weeks, you go to the stage, you do the thing, then you get to eat again.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. You would just have to you have to have a conversation with yourself, because your one little bit of sacrifice, you have to be willing to have that little sacrifice in order to reach greatness. So if bringing your best is super important to you, you're gonna have to look at that sacrifice and be like, yes, that's something that I can take away for a small period of time, be okay with it, because I have this bigger goal in mind. Now, for some lifestyle people, because I'll have conversations with some like potential clients or just people in general where they're like, oh, I really want to have like a flat stomach and abs, or I just really want, or I really want to have this body look, but I don't want to give up like drinking and partying on the weekends. I was like,
sorry,
well,
honey.
But and then I tell them, okay, well then you have to find your balance. Do you want to sacrifice your drinking and your partying in order to get that, or is that not super important to you? Like, would you be willing then to sacrifice what you could achieve in order to keep partying and drinking every weekend? Like, what is your, for some people in their life, the drinking and the social aspect is important for them, and for some people they're willing to sacrifice it because they're in a different stage of life with different goals.
Yeah. And I think it comes with personal goals and wants and needs. It depends how important it is to you and how bad you want it.
And what stage of life you're in, because some like super young people, like if I went up to an 18-year-old and was like, okay, or an 18-year-old came up to me and was like, okay, I want to do bodybuilding, I want to do this, or I want to have this goal, it's going to be probably harder for them because they're surrounded by people. They have, I mean, when you're 18 and then you turn 21 and stuff like that, but maybe it is important to them, but it's different compared to you. You're 42.
I have passed all of that.
You went through you did the college thing. We did like all of that stuff. It's already passed, so you have to take that into consideration, like what stage of life you're in. I
always admire people that do it.
I couldn't. Yeah. I remember when I was 18, I was like in the Sonic drive-thru, like eating cheese curds. I don't know.
That sounds pretty good right now.
Lunchtime if you can't.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good right now. Cheese.
Okay. Well, let's U-turn back to our questions. So those were kind of like personal, heavy, like mental questions. The next two questions kind of just deal with the show in general. So the first question was about skin prep and shaving.
You can answer to that. It's a lot.
It is so much. So
I have pretty sweet and quick. It's a lot.
I have a process. So I start at least 3 to 4 weeks before. I only use Dove bar soap. And I use a special pH balancing exfoliator that I get from one of the tan companies, ProTan, and that's all I use. And then I know the week of your show, like peak week, you cannot wear any deodorants. You cannot wear any fragrances, perfumes, oils, nothing.
I mean, we smell that day.
We're just gross the whole week. And I start shaving normally like the Wednesday before a Saturday show, and then you just kind of like touch up your shave every single day. And when I mean shave, I don't just mean like armpits and legs. I mean almost head to toe. Everything is shaved. Everything is shaved. And you have to make sure too when you shave, you have to use a specific razor. So I just get the El Cheapo like men razors that come in bulk because you don't want to have those like nice feminine razors that have like all the soap
They
around it
don't lose
because
anything.
well, but also the soap
Yeah.
can work against the tan. I've seen people who've gone to get their tan and it catches in places that they shaved
So they
because
look
they use
irritated.
it.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look irritated. The tan either doesn't stick to their skin or it turns a different color because those razors have like soaps and oils on them, and then you can see it.
Interesting.
Yes, so I have a process, and I only use Eucerin body lotion because I saw Laura Lee only uses Eucerin body lotion when she's like skin prepping. So then I started to use it, and I mean it works because there's no fragrances, no oils. You have to stay away from all of that because any of that can
Will not stick to your skin.
yeah, well, it can mess up the tan. So the more you know, that's probably like the gist of it. Now, the tanning process itself was also a question on here.
she
I did it for the first time in Kansas City.
She used to tan. She used to tan by herself, and she sent me a text message. Do I wear underwear there? I'm like, no, you don't wear anything.
Yeah. So I for all of my shows before Kansas City, I did my own at-home DIY. It came from a protein company, but I did the DIY kit. Me and my husband would do it. Now for Kansas City, I just didn't want to deal with it. I just kind of wanted to spoil myself, so I signed up for tan to be done for me. And I didn't realize that is a process where you just go in, you strip down, you have your own little tent. You try not to make eye contact with anybody around you, and you're just kind of like one by one, like cattle, go get sprayed down. You go back to your little
The
tent.
men's are more complicated.
Yeah, well, they separate you. So
They
the men and
separate,
women
yeah.
are separated. You won't see men, but you will see women. And then you're in your little black little tent, and there's a fan on you, and you're cold, and you're naked, and you're afraid.
You're literally waiting to be done. Like, okay, I'm over this. Let's go.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes it's really quick, and sometimes it's not, depending on how many people are before you. But I would say that's all in terms of the questions. Now, I think I'm going to throw another question at you. We talked a little bit today about the plans for next year. So, you want to give people kind of like a sneak peek of what your plans are coming? First of all, going into this off season, what's going to happen this off season, and if you want to, maybe give us like an idea of when you're going to prep out again and all of that good stuff.
Looks like I'm going to start next spring.
Yes, because you're gunning for
Nationals,
because you're nationally qualified.
Which is exciting, which means I'm going to have to gain some weight. I'm going to get it. That's one of the things I want to talk to people. I'm not very conscious about the scale. You can't. And yeah, I'm excited, nervous.
Yes. So you're building muscle right now, and you're trying to build a lot of muscle.
Everything I can. It's hard to build a lot of muscle. Jesus.
Yeah.
For a whole year, basically.
And so are you going to be building the entire time before you prep out for spring?
Yeah.
The whole time?
The whole time.
No,
I'm probably going to have like a mini cut in January.
Explain a mini cut for our viewers. Like, what is the purpose of a mini cut? Why do you do it?
The mini cut is just to cut some fat to see where the muscle is that you've been building on. Basically, it's kind of like a little prep, but not that intense.
Yeah.
Just take a little bit away food and a little more cardio.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sneak peek of what you have been building. It also gives your coach an indication of how your body is going to react to certain, things being taken away or certain stimulus or certain additions of cardio and stuff like that. So they have kind of like a little idea of how to prep you out so they're not going in super blind. It's also really good for our mental sanity because for women, it's really hard to build and build and build and grow and grow and grow and gain and gain and gain without a little bit of a break to kind of just bring it back.
It's more common in the men's to get big. So for like girls, it's kind of like, you just gotta remember your goals, what you're doing it for. What about you?
Very similar. I will be prepping out before you. We talked a little bit about that. I am not, I'm unsure if I think I'm nationally qualified for the natural nationals, which I want to go to the overall. If I'm going to go to nationals, I want to go to
The NPC one.
nationals. If I'm going to
Yeah.
compete against the best of the best, I want to compete against the best of the best, whether they're natural or not. So, and I also like to do more than just one show.
She's nuts.
So we're hopefully gonna do a local show first, just to give me an idea of where I would sit at one of the bigger shows in our area. And then depending on the placement there, then we would come up with a game plan of like what national show, if we are even going to do a national show, because that's kind of what we did this season. We did the shows. We were going to see how I did the shows, and if I did super amazing and I was winning opens and overalls, then we'd probably run right into nationals. That didn't happen, and that's okay. And we're going to kind of go in with the same game plan. I will also do a mini cut, thank goodness.
Thank God for
before
mini cuts.
before the prep. We're what?
I don't know. Like, I like my food, man. But I like looking good too.
Yes.
I wish we can have both.
I wish we could have both.
Yeah,
we're not men.
Yeah, we're not men. Thank God too. I don't want to be a man.
No. Okay, let's see. That was all the questions. What time are we at?
Oh, before we leave, we're as you can see, we're
our new backdrop and our little couch.
Yeah,
here.
you guys know I work at the Elite Personal Trainer, one of the trainers here. Right now,
we just launched. I mean them, but I'll put it
right there, get it closer to them so they can see. It's our new protein powder, 27 servings. How many grams?
It is, so it's 27 servings per container for one rounded scoop, which is about 34 grams. It is only 130 calories.
It's very low because usually it's around 140, 150, 160. The other ones you're going to find in the store.
Only 2 grams of fats.
Which is amazing.
4 grams of carbs, and 1 gram is actually from fiber. So really you're only getting, if you do net carbs, which they're only getting 3 carbs, but 24 grams of protein.
$45, guys.
45, so which is pretty cheap for a tub of protein. And it is a whey protein, is an isolate concentrate mix, which is why we can get such a high amount of protein in a scoop. And then also it has 5,762 milligrams of BCAA. So you're also getting your branched chain amino acids.
This one is the chocolate what?
This is chocolate milkshake. Is there any plans for some new flavors coming out?
There are, but first we need to like sell those ones and see people try, and then we're probably gonna get more flavors in the future.
So grab yourself a tub. It is $45. If you follow any of us, either me or Nadia, or even the Elite Personal Training page, you can DM us on how to get your hands on a tub of protein. You can also do the same with our vitamins. So these vitamins come, and if you are watching on YouTube, you get a special little treat of actually seeing what goes into the pack. So you get a little box, and it is a pack of vitamins. So everything is already sectioned out, and it tells you exactly what's inside. You get a multivitamin with iron. You get an essential D blend. You get an omega blend. You have probiotics included in there.
With a big deal. Those things are expensive.
Yes, with an immune blend, so like your vitamin C and everything. And then some extra vitamin C in there. So it is a daily pack. So you literally do not have to do the whole like in your vitamin cabinet, like doing everything out by yourself or having your own little thing. You can literally just take 1 pack a day. Really easy to travel with. If you're traveling for a couple of days, you can just rip off how many days that you're going to be gone
Put it in
for.
your bag and you get to go.
Put it in your bag, and then these are how much? They are
55.
55, which is technically cheaper than one of the leading vitamin packs. I'm not going to say their name just in case, but it is a leading vitamin pack from a very well-known brand. We are cheaper, and we have almost the exact same ingredients.
And we are local, guys. Please support our local business.
Yes. Yeah. So local protein, 45, Vitamins 55. You can DM me or Nadia
Yeah.
or Elite Personal Training to get yours ordered, or you can go to elitepersonaltraining.com.
Yes, and don't forget we're 24-hour gym now. So we
Yes.
offer membership for 24 hours.
So you can get it at the gym too if you're
Yeah.
if you're local, at least Summit, Missouri as well.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's all for us today. We answered a few questions. If you guys have any more questions, please let us know. This is for you guys. We will talk about all the stuff that you want to know and the questions that you have. But thank you for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.